You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, government demands $300 million from the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Plus, Grand Bahama receiving its first dedicated hurricane shelter. And residents grow weary of missing person reports. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, everyone. I'm Raven Davis, and as always, it's a joy to have you with us. Topping news tonight, things are heating up between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. With over $300 million allegedly owed to the government, the Davis administration has now sent a letter demanding that they be paid what's owed to them. But what exactly is unfolding? Well, our Azure Kwan joins us live now on the grounds of the Grand Bahama Port Authority with the latest on this big news. Aja?
Big news indeed, Raven, as tensions continue to rise between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. In a bold move, the government has issued a demand letter to the GBPA calling for a hefty sum of $300 million allegedly owed to the government over the past 5 fiscal years. The demand letter, dated just last week, points directly to a clause in the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. Well, the clock is ticking for the port, as they now have 30 days to present the funds requested. Now, the back and forth between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority has been brewing for over a year. Back in June 2023, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, did not hold back in his budget contribution as speaking to his concerns about the GBPA and its impact on the Freeport economy. The nation's leader pointing to a prolonged economic decline in Grand Bahama, indicating that the old economic model is not working anymore. But the Port Authority did not take his comments lightly, firing back, accusing the government of breaching the Hawksbill Creek Agreement and holding Freeport back. Fast forward to August 2023, Prime Minister Davis was not feeling optimistic about the progress with the GBPA. He made it clear that the government was committed to holding them accountable for their end of the deal. In November of 2023, the Prime Minister noted that the government was ready to step in and acquire the GBPA if no suitable private investor came forward. But in January of this year, the plan to buy out the GBPA was quickly scrapped by the government, opting instead to focus on getting what's owed to them. And that is exactly what it looks like the government is doing, Raven, demanding what is allegedly owed to them. Now, we reached out to the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the government, who both declined to give a comment on the matter. But one question remains. Will the government receive payment? I guess we'll just have to wait and see and provide the latest on this story. Reporting live here for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant. Back to you in studio.
Thanks, Aja. Well, we reached out to the Grand Bahama Port Authority, who assured our news team that a response is forthcoming. In other news, as the Atlantic hurricane season approaches, the Evangeline Jervis Community Service Distribution Center stands ready to assist residents, with officials proudly announcing today that the hurricane shelter is near 30% complete. Government ministers touring the facility today, marking a crucial step forward in bolstering the island's resistance against the threat of powerful storms. The island is now one step closer to securing its first dedicated hurricane shelter. The development coming at a crucial time, with the Atlantic hurricane season expected to be particularly intense this year. Government ministers taking a tour of the Evangeline Jervis Community Service Distribution Center earlier today, underscoring the importance of this facility in bolstering the island's resilience against natural disasters.
So the government is playing a part, but we must commend the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the country for taking this bold step to provide a facility that could accommodate up to 250 people. You're talking about bathroom facilities, washing facilities, industrial kitchen, air conditioning, there's a generator. I'm very much impressed. I would encourage other congregations, other groups to to join in. We are all our brother's keeper. As I said, the government can't do everything.
President of the Northern Bahamas Conference of the Seventh-day Adventists, Eric D. Clark, thanking all involved for their partnership.
We are grateful to all stakeholders, but today singularly, I think that the government has been our largest contributor to this hurricane shelter, and we are so grateful. We appreciate the fact that people have come on board because the church was totally devastated during the hurricane, and that was a motivational experience for the membership who decided that that would not catch them like that again.
The 4,000 square foot hurricane shelter and soup kitchen is located at the Freeport Seventh-day Adventist Church on Gamber Drive. Volunteer worker Alicia Jervis Garland remarking that she is proud of the significant progress made.
This is the only dedicated hurricane shelter in the Bahamas. And we want to have a grand opening the first week in June so that we can be available if they have it.
In other news, the hurricane season prediction for 2024 has been released, and it is expected to be very active, with 23 named storms, 11 hurricanes, and 5 major hurricanes. We spoke with the senior meteorologist at the Department of Meteorology, Trenard Tynes, who shares that the sea surface temperature for the Atlantic Ocean is warm, and there's a possibility that the Bahamas can expect a hurricane. Julanda Thompson-Everest reports.
Senior meteorologist Trenard Tynes from the Bahamas Department of Meteorology revealing that the sea surface temperature in the Atlantic Ocean is above average and that the Met Office is anticipating a warm temperature the entire summer straight through hurricane season.
Last year we were in what we call an El Nino phase, which we weren't anticipating too many storms or a lot of activity. However, we're transitioning from El Nino into a La Nina stage. So once we go into the La Nina stage, that tells our forecasters that we are anticipating a more active season.
Tynes explains that the average range for named storms in the Bahamas ranges from usually 4 to 7. However, this year, the forecast model has released 11 names, which is above average. Now, he also adds that while there may be a slight possibility of a hurricane, however, he does not want residents to get concerned.
We are anticipating a very active season. They use explosive, but I don't like to use words like that because it puts a lot of people out, or make people uneasy. We're not saying not to pay attention, but we don't want to get people too excited before any system happens or anything starts.
Tynes furthers that hurricanes usually started as thunderstorms in Africa, and then it works its way, feeding off the sea surface temperature.
It's a calculation they put together, and then they go with those numbers, and then they come up with how much storms they anticipate to come off. Now, usually, it's not set in stone, but this is just an indication to let us know that we have an active season.
Tynes conveys that while they are still watching the 2024 hurricane season predictions, he still advises residents to begin preparing for hurricane season. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Julanda Thompson-Everest.
Switching gears now, good news coming in for the community of Hudson Estate as the Freeport City Council lends a helping hand to cleaning that community. Tonight we hear from councilors on why they decided to step in. Our newest addition to the Northern Service team, Shalia Roll, has that report.
Residents here in the Hudson Estate area are now overjoyed as their community has just received a facelift. This is all thanks to the City of Freeport Council, who stepped in to lend a helping hand. 4.5 years post-Hurricane Dorian, residents contend that there was still some minor debris and cleanup left for the area. Chief Counselor at the City of Freeport Council, Frazette Gibson, says this, among the need for a cleaner community, is what prompted the initiative.
The reason we have done this is we have numerous subdivisions that are without developers, that are unkept, and residents have been crying out for some assistance. And I think that we're doing our part by remaining sensitive and responsive to the needs of the community.
According to the chief counselor, this is not the first time the council has engaged in initiatives such as this. And with major repairs ongoing since Hurricane Dorian, councilors on site say they found it necessary to step in as the area is not managed by developers.
This initiative brought to you by the City of Freeport Council is a cleanup initiative and hoping to spread it throughout our communities. Quite some time now, we've been able to see the trend for residents trying to stay clean. Our communities are filled with debris, especially some residents are still feeling the effects, from Hurricane Dorian, as major repairs are still going on. And so we're just assisting some residents to getting the debris out of the area as quick as possible.
They're saying that this garbage was here from Dorian. So we, the City of Freeport Council, saw it fit to come, help them try to remove some of the trash, because some of the persons in this area say that, there's no developer, the persons don't do it. So we wanted to do that to help the residents of Pine Ridge as well. Those an extension of Hudson Estate.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have a developer, so sanitation doesn't come in this area, so they don't have the benefit of sanitation removing their trash. So the City of Freeport Council saw the need to step up and assist the residents with this. And I also want to take this opportunity to encourage residents to let's work together to keep the area clean.
The Hudson Estate residents are now expressing their gratitude to the City of Freeport Council for hearing their cries and assisting with the removal of trash from the area.
They're doing a great job in cleaning our area. So I just give God thanks and praise for them, and I hope they'll keep up the good works. Amen.
As the councilors continue their cleanup efforts, residents are urged to keep the area clean and free of debris. This as the councilors go into the Marco City constituency to continue their cleanup initiatives. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Rule.
Thanks, Shalia, and once again, welcome to the team. But when we come back, we have the highlights of the historic crowning of the first ever national high school pageant held on Grand Bahama. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Unwind every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Prop Club at the Grand Lucine Hotel. Enjoy tasty food specials on draft beers and house specialty pizzas. The Prop Club, the best place to meet friends and enjoy happy hour. For designer shoes, sandals, handbags, and accessories, visit Steppin' Out Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, or WhatsApp 727-9098. Shipping available throughout the family of islands. Steppin' Out when you want to put your best foot forward.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority proudly presents Show Me Emotion, a 3-day celebration of Grand Bahamian art and artists, April 12th through the 14th, starting at the Port Lacaya Marketplace. Weekend all-access tickets are $100. Gallery admission is free to the public. Georgia's School of Dance and Theater presents Imagination of a Showman, April 12th, 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st at the Regency Theater. Tickets $35 in advance, $40 at the door.
Port Lacaya Marketplace has been around for a number of years. The marketplace is an open-air facility. We have lots of restaurants on property. We have bars. We have retail shops. We have something for the kiddies to do. We have something for the adults to do. It's a family-oriented establishment. We also have real estate companies on the property for persons who may visit the island, or even our locals. If someone is interested in probably purchasing their home or a piece of property, we have our straw markets. We have our crab craft market that specializes in handmade craft works. We have something on the property for everybody. Currently, we have a few spaces on the property that's available for rental. So we're reaching out to the public and encouraging entrepreneurs. Let's see what we can offer to them to bring some more livelihood to Port Lucaya Marketplace. Our hours are basically 8 a.m. until 2 a.m. the next morning. My contact information at the office is 373-8446.
It is the third competition before we head into the finals. 4 teams remain. They are Team B&B Galaxy.
My strategy going in the game is actually to take all my team members on my back and drag them across the finish line and score all the points myself. That did not work.
Team Bahama Rock.
We told them at the beginning that we'd crush rock, we'd crush the team, and a lot of them again burst with rocks.
Team Doctors Hospital.
We did a very big favor for the rest of the team.
And Team GB Power.
GB Power is built for battle.
Let's get it.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. History was made as the Bahamas witnessed the crowning of its first ever national high school pageant, King and Queen. The inaugural Bahamas pageant brought together schools from across the nation right here on Grand Bahama. Here's Asher Quant.
History was made as schools from across the Bahamas gathered on Grand Bahama for the inaugural Bahamas National High School pageant. The event, a culmination of dreams and aspirations, were brought to fruition by National President Darrell Stubbs. 18 contestants from 11 schools showcased their talents and poise in a competition that celebrated beauty, talent, and charisma. When the final curtain fell, Kenya Minnis of North Eleuthera High and Stanford McIntosh of Essie Boodle High emerged as the crowning king and queen of the evening.
My work did not go in vain. I really pushed to gain this title, and I am so excited.
I came in, I saw, and I definitely conquered.
Khalil Lockhart of Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy came first runner-up and now holds the Prince title, while Ramaya Gabrielle Cynthia O'Brien of Essie Boodle High was crowned princess.
It was overall a confidence booster. I stepped out of my comfort zone and I achieved the result that I like.
To be able to say that my first pageant and I'm holding a title, it's really a good thing for me, and I'm very proud of myself and I'm proud of who I became and how I've changed even through the short time of being here in Freeport.
The newly crowned king and queen emphasizes the importance of inclusivity and empowerment, highlighting the significance of men joining pageants as a means to boost self-confidence and provide a platform for their voices to be heard.
Pageants aren't just about beauty, but it gives us young people a voice, and it gives us a platform to speak about what we are most passionate about.
They do not have that sort of community to express themselves, and I really want them to know that it's okay and that they should totally join Bahamas National High School pageant and get the pageant experience that I had.
And although the king, queen, and national president are all from different islands, Stubbs says this is exactly what the Bahamas National High School pageant is all about.
That is the plan, that is the goal. To have kings and queens, princesses throughout the Bahamas, because that is what a national pageant is. And I think it's beautiful to have people authentically living on the other islands, participating, representing their school and also their island, coming together for a beautiful weekend, a beautiful experience, and then now going back out into their communities and into their schools as the national title holders. It encourages the other students, it encourages the other schools, it encourages the other islands.
The national president also says that this is just the beginning. Their next step is to visit high schools throughout the Bahamas. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Asher Quant.
In other news, Zion United Baptist is hosting its 189th annual General Convention session on Grand Bahama at the Grand Lucine Resort. The event began on Monday, April 1st and will culminate on Friday, April 5th with a luncheon recognizing individuals that have made a significant impact in the Baptist church community. According to President of the Zion Baptist United Convention, Reverend Elvis Burrows, this is the first time that the General Session is being held on Grand Bahama.
this is the culmination of months of planning. And so we've come together in Grand Bahama for the first time, as I said, and we have delegates from around the Bahamas. As you can tell by looking on the inside, hundreds of delegates. And this week we're going to discuss some of the more critical issues facing the church. Our theme is working together for lasting unity.
The official opening night had a number of dynamic speakers in addition to multiple performances and selections from church members of the Zion Baptist community. There was also a wide range of topics that were discussed. The theme this year is working together for lasting unity.
Looking forward to just a glorious time, and also to increase our faith in God and to send a message out that, look, there's still a remnant in this country that loves God, still a remnant that cares about the things of God, and so we are excited, man.
Now, once again, the convention ends on Friday, April 5th. Well, that's a look at stories making news, but don't go away. The latest in sports and your local weather forecasts are up next.
New this spring at Island Bedding and Furniture, the Forever Flower Shop. Check out our new selection of artificial flowers and wreaths. Choose stems for your own projects or get a pre-made arrangement as a quick fix to a dull space. If you're a soon-to-be bride, inquire about bulk ordering for floral options that won't break the bank. It's all here at Island Bedding and Furniture, located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinary.
Hungry? Save the day with this hack. The tastiest hack is no longer a secret. Order 2 medium one-topping pizzas from Pizza Hut Freeport for only $22. Enjoy Pizza Hut while spending less all the way to the crust. Visit us at the store, carry out, or delivery. 2 medium one-topping pizzas for only $22. Call us at 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport. Enjoy all the way to the crust. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Georgia's School of Dance and Theater presents Imagination of a Showman, April 12th, 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st at the Regency Theater. Tickets $35 in advance, $40 at the door. It's the Come Go With Me Best of the Best Bahamas and Turks and Caicos concert weekend, Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. Day 1, the People's Rush Welcome Party, June 27th. Day 2, the Pre-Party on Friday, June 28th. Day 3, the Day Away Beach Party, Saturday, June 29th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. The Come Go With Me Best of the Best concert, Saturday, June 29th. For more information, email comegowithmeweekend@gmail.com.
Have questions for Grand Bahama Power Company? Get insights and answers to the power concern every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Tune in and power up your knowledge with Ask GBPC.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
A warm welcome home for the Grand Bahama Carifta swimming team. Jay Philippe has all the action.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. We have a whole lot of sports for you, including softball and Abaco, local playoff basketball. But let's begin with swimming. Team Bahamas, Grand Bahama swimmers and coaches returning home from their recent Carifta success, winning the Bahamas' 6 consecutive swim championships that was held in New Providence. The team was greeted in grand style.
It was a good experience, and I feel very prideful that
The meet was taking place in my home country, and that made the experience better for sure because I get to say that my country hosted the games and we won 6 times straight.
I worked really hard to make Carifta and to be on the team and to also place, and I'm really proud of myself.
Feels good knowing that I got some points like I said I was. And yeah, I made my team proud, my country proud. Knowing that my family proud of me, my sisters, my mommy, my friends.
It feels amazing to come home with medals. I mean, it was amazing to just be there at Carifta. If you missed it, you missed a lot. It was very fun to swim every single race and swim all the relays. Relays were the best part.
My experience was very fun. It was exhilarating, exciting, all of those above words. I think that as working along with my team, that we really did this. We really got what we wanted to get, the 6-peat, that now we're on to the 7-peat next year.
Switching gears now in sports, the Friends for Life softball organization based out of Grand Bahama held a free softball clinic for youngsters on the Murphytown Softball Park in Abaco.
It's a joy to be here on this park with these young kids from Abaco. It's obvious that they have some talent here, and we're just trying to enhance it. These young fellas are eager to play the game.
It feels good to come and always give back to the youth. We basically just working on mechanics, going through the fundamentals, starting them off a step throw. The first things you would go through a feeling.
We've been learning about how to take your time and feel the ball too, because softball is a more fast-paced game than baseball, so we have to anticipate the ball, make sure to stay low and get a good throw. From young, I was playing baseball at about 8 or 7 years old, and I was playing with the big boys, so I just get the chance to get better quicker. But softball is my first time really getting into the game. I learned how different it is from baseball.
And finally, in sports, semi-final playoff scores from the GBBA. In Game 1, the Gym Rats edged out Reach Out Ministry 73-69 to go up 1-0 in that series. Devon Rigby scored 19 points in the win. Now in Game 2, Axmore Security Fugees got the W against ODS Fisheries 79-75. Trevor Bain led all scorers with 24 points in the win. Ladies and gents, that is your quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
And now here's a check on your local weather forecast, sponsored by Royal Star Assurance.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Stay with us. Our Facebook friend of the day is up next.
People keep on asking me, Sawyer, when the next big event, man? I want to go to a bar-breaking straight concert. And I say, hey, say last road show on 27, 28, and 29. Come go with me. Turks and Caicos Island for best of the best. That's what it named. Listen, we get 3 days. The first day, it's all about the People's Rush, but we get John Canoe from Turks and Caicos, and we get John Canoe from the Bahamas. Day 2, pre-party. DJs could be out there getting you all prepared for day 3. The big concert. Now listen to this lineup. Turks and Caicos, we get Sprat, Mikey and Kool-Aid, Gemma, Barbara Johnson. We get the Provision Band. And Bahamas side, listen to this lineup, y'all. Elon Moxie, Sweet Emily, KB, D-Mark, Nishi Ellis, Veronica Bishop, Gino D, Arby, Stevie S. Listen, Shad calling the VIPs too. Woo! It could be a party. It's hosted by Huntley Forbes and it's hosted by me. Sawyer boy, you don't want to miss this. June 27, 28, and 29. See all the information right there? Y'all come go with me. Best of the best. Turks and Caicos. That's it. That's it.
Hey, I'm D'Amico Nesbitt, and welcome to Health Bites, where every week we give you a helpful tip to help you on your health and fitness journey. Today, I'm going to give you 3 signs that you need to cleanse or detox. We all know the body cleanses itself, but sometimes if you don't drink enough water or eat enough grains or healthy food, it can be slowed down. 3 signs that you need to detox. Sign number 1 is if you feel lethargic and tired all the time. Sometimes that's the toxins build up. You got a lot of waste inside in your intestines in your body, and your body can't absorb all the nutrients, so you're gonna feel tired. If you feel like that, you might be time for you to get a cleanse or detox. Sign number 2 is bloating. Sometimes we have that bloated feeling in the gut, and you wonder why you're just holding on to this water. That could be a sign that you have a lot of waste build up, but the same thing, you have toxins build up in your body. It's time to flush them out. And sign number 3 is trouble sleeping. Sometimes the same problem, if you have waste buildup and toxins, it can block your melatonin, and which is what helps your body to go to sleep. So when that occurs, it's a good idea to get past that. Thank you for tuning in, and remember we're located in the Raven Mall. We also have locations in Nassau. Stop in and check out any of our cleanse and detox products to help you get rid of that waste.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Assistant Superintendent Latoya Major Roll, you are our Facebook friend of the day, and we hope you are enjoying your birthday. And that is going to do it for us tonight here in the North. On behalf of our entire Northern Edition team, I'm Raven Davis, but don't go anywhere. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Tonight, the national report, NIB hike breakdown, registrar employees protest, focus shares extension, and in sports, Team Bahamas celebrated. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. Thanks so much for tuning in. NIB's pending increase still a few months off, but numbers compiled in its latest report lend to why that hike is needed and needed now. Mukesh Lapinder gives us a closer look at the fund's operations in 2021.
2020, a draining year for the National Insurance Board. Over $200 million paid out to tens of thousands of Bahamians that year, the height of the COVID-19 pandemic coupled with the monumental impact of 2019's multi-billion-dollar monster, Hurricane Dorian. While the following year still saw NIB's benefit expenditure exceeding its contribution income, at the very least, the deficit in 2021 saw a significant decline compared to 2020's figures. You see, figures show that NIB's benefit expenditure decreased from $405.9 million in 2020 to $327.5 million, a difference of $78.4 million. The significant reduction mainly due to the unemployment benefit moving from $107.6 million to $4 million. NIB's 2021 annual report also found that the social safety net's expenditure for short-term benefits, that's outside of sickness and funeral benefits, declined. On the other end, long-term benefits went up from $258.8 million to $282.6 million. Most of that increase due to retirement benefits that shot up from $208.9 million to $231.1 million in 2021. Now, when all that's put in the mix, the deficit, as indicated, shrank considerably from practically $190 million in 2020 to $60.4 million a year later. And while we've fast-forwarded a few years, these figures only strengthen NIB's case of moving ahead with a 1.5% increase come this July. And as NIB execs have shared, this will only improve the board's contribution collection by about $2 million per month. Only half of the $4 million in collection it really needs. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Mukesh Lapinder.
The Inter-American Development Bank has approved a $60 million conditional credit line for investment projects to foster sustainable development in the Bahamas by stimulating micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises in the country's blue economy. Altaviz Munnings joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Altaviz.
Good evening, LaDawn, and good evening, Bahamas. This line of credit for the local sustainable development in the Blue Economy program includes an initial individual loan of $30 million. And to break down that number, the credit line consists of 2 individual and sequential loans over the course of 10 years. The first loan of $30 million has a 25-year repayment term, a 5.5-year grace period, and an interest rate based on a secured overnight financing rate. Now let's define what the blue economy is. The Inter-American Development Bank's interpretation is a coordinated approach to climate change and climate risk solutions, environmental sustainability, and economic growth by strengthening oceanic ecosystems and optimizing the use of marine resources. According to IDB estimates, the blue economy currently accounts for approximately 21.5% of the Bahamas' gross domestic product and up to 50% if indirect impacts are included. But IDB officials contend it still has potential to expand, especially in the Family Islands. Now, the program is structured around three components: to promote growth among medium, small, and micro blue economy enterprises, develop specialized human capital for the blue economy in coordination with the Bahamas Agricultural and Marine Science Institute, and enhance the blue economy's sustainability by financing the implementation and improvement of management plans for existing marine protected areas. More specifically, approximately 120 Family Island medium, small, and micro enterprises will receive financial and technical assistance, and some 160 science degree scholarships and 120 scholarships for specialized training for tour guides will be awarded. According to the IDB's country strategy report released this past February, the IDB Group holds the largest share of the Bahamas' multilateral public debt. That's about 60% as of the end of 2021. And the IDB is an important source of technical assistance. Reporting in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Munnings. Back to you, LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Alto. Meantime, the Bahamas' permanent representative to the Organization of the American States, Chet Nemore, is now the chair of the OAS's Permanent Council until June 30th. The brief ceremony took place at the Hemispheric Organization's Washington, D.C. headquarters on Wednesday. In a brief message following the ceremony, Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, invited OAS member states to collaborate on advancing democracy, human rights, security, and development for a stronger Americas.
We must deliver on the pledges and commitments of our lofty resolutions, declarations, statements, and every iteration thereof. Our citizens expect it, and undoubtedly they deserve it. While I may be the individual receiving the ceremonial gavel this morning, I am certainly not an individual unto myself. Invariably, I carry with me the indomitable spirit of every Bahamian in our Commonwealth, because it is they whom I represent. I am the vessel to execute the charge of the government and people of the Bahamas. And
They process your birth and death certificates, marriage licenses, and the likes, but if mounting concerns aren't addressed, Bahamas Public Services Union President Kingsley Ferguson says the public could find those very important services disrupted. Here's Cleopatra Murphy.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! We ain't gonna let them all tell us! No!
Staff at the Registrar General's office, led by BPSU President Kingsley Ferguson, are taking a firm stance. Address our concerns, or we will take action. Union members lay out a list of grievances, lamenting less than adequate working conditions amidst claims of mold and an elevator that has been inoperable for at least 4 months. The situation forcing approximately 150 staffers to take a hazardous trek daily up 3 floors of stairs, a walk that has reportedly left some taking spills. Shop steward for the Registrar General's Department, Monique Dawkins, lays it out.
We have persons always being off because they're sick because of the mold. Our work entails dealing with files, okay? This office is not the typical government office. We have to climb stairs with the files in order to do our work. Imagine you sitting in your law firm, these ladies have shopping bags of files and boxes toting upstairs to accommodate you in your law firm. We're still waiting on promotions.
This is, as she says, they have watched many in the public service receive promotions with none for them.
We've had enough. And nobody, successive governments, F&M and PLP, have treated this office like garbage. We are very important to the financial services industry, to locals. We are very important. It's time for them to give this office its due.
Union President Ferguson says the building is managed by a private company. It is his belief officials are reluctant to fix the elevator as the office is set to be relocated across the street, but renovations at that facility started last year and have no end in sight. He insists the environment must be rectified for staff health, appealing to Attorney General Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder.
We don't want to have to pull everybody out of the building, and so our motto says reasoning together accomplishes. And so we want to be able to reason and get a definitive response on one, when the elevator is going to be fixed, two, when they're going to have telephones in this building, because for years now the staff here had to have been using their personal cell phones to communicate with the various clients that come in.
Adding to the grievances, Ferguson says Registrar General Camille Gomez-Jones is handicapped because she also lacks the financial officer to procure necessities like water and toilet paper.
It is important to address these situations. Other than that, we are promising the government services are going to be suspended.
ZNS News reached out to the Attorney General, who says the permanent secretary met with Ferguson today, where they discussed staff concerns and the office's pending relocation. He says there is a cooperative understanding with the union and the landlord has scheduled the elevator's repair. In the interim, he says additional support is being provided to assist with files. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thanks a lot, Cleo. And still to come, Focal shareholders offering extended. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Focal Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We exposed 5 strangers to different KFC menus to see if the flavor can enhance any moment. And at the first bite, the party began. We repeated the experiment during the day, during business hours, on weekends, with sunshine, with rain. It's confirmed, any moment can be a KFC moment.
Tune into the 5th Annual Elevation Awards, Saturday, April 6th at 6 p.m. Live on the ZNS TV network from Sandals Royal Bahamian in beautiful Nassau, Bahamas. With live performances by Nishi LS, Julian Believe, Wendy 242, Sammy Starr, Patrice Morel, Shine Bahamas, Ilsha, Fan Sean, Judah the Lion, Carrington McKenzie, Alia Coley, Osley and Jadort, Sherwin Gardner, Colin Christopher, Davian Chase, and many more. Hosted by Sherelle Roxy Star Duncombe. That's the 5th Annual Elevation Awards, April 6th, live on the ZNS TV network from Sandals Royal Bahamian.
Join me, Sherelle Roxy Star Duncombe, as I host this year's Elevation Awards. Because I support the culture, and you should too.
Catch the 5th Annual Elevation Awards, Saturday, April 6th at 6 p.m. only on ZNS TV 13.
Since 1974, the National Insurance Board has been an income replacement safety net.
But to ensure our future remains secure, starting July 1st, 2024, contribution rates will increase and will continue to be shared by employers and employees.
We will be sharing more information in the upcoming months. But for now, get more details on NIBrateincrease.com.
Invest in tomorrow today with NIB.
Because together, we can ensure our financial future.
Calling all pizza lovers. Marco's Pizza just got hotter. Head into any Marco's location and try our new Hot Honey Magnifico Pizza. Featuring our Old World pepperoni, drizzled with Mike's Hot Honey. Available for a limited time only. Get a large Hot Honey and enjoy this sweet and savory goodness for only $18.50. Make the right choice and order one today at marcospizzabahamas.com. No one makes a pizza quite like we do.
Is crashing the wings party with 5 flavors.
Makes no sense it took so long. Crispy outside, juicy inside.
Who are you? We don't make sense. We make chicken. Y'all good?
Popeye's new chicken wings make no sense. Marinated in Louisiana spices, hand battered and clipped, and then we have the audacity to call all 5 flavors fast food? Someone should really say something or order something.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Disaster was averted Thursday morning after tourists were involved in an early morning traffic mishap that eyewitnesses on the scene say could have been much worse. Cleopatra Murphy was on the scene.
Traffic ground to a halt on Thursday morning after an ATV with 7 passengers on board burst into flames on Princess Street.
As they turned the curve, I heard a pop. I thought it was an accident, but as I saw, a truck was behind him, but the truck went around. And I noticed that the vehicle that they were driving was on fire, and there was a lot of smoke coming from it. And I saw them jump off and ran to the Central Bank area. And after that, the vehicle continued smoking, and then it just burst into a full-fledged flame.
That incident, where thankfully no one was injured, occurred just before 10 a.m. involving a rental from Cruise Bahamas ATV. Plumes of black smoke blanketed the sky as firefighters fought to put out the blaze in front of the Central Bank building. Visibly shaken with tears streaming down her face, the female driver of the ATV recounted to police what had occurred. She and her family, tourists from South Carolina, declined to comment on camera, but said although a little shaken up, they were all unscathed. Eyewitness Albert McKinney described the frantic aftermath as people scrambled to determine what had occurred. His priority was ensuring everyone on the inflamed ATV got off.
Who weren't at the corner to see the fires yet, so it was kind of chaotic in a way because traffic travels a lot on this road, so they didn't know what lane really to be on. So it was kind of hectic, and as the flame got bigger, traffic came to a stop. And that's when I heard the fire trucks came, and there was a police officer on a motorbike that was at the light, directing traffic, that who could pass at that time. So after that, they just stopped everybody from passing.
As for what led to the inferno, the driver reported that she smelled gasoline prior to the fire. Sergeant 2785 Cedino Hepburn gave details of law enforcement's investigation.
No, presently at this time, we're trying to gain some further information. Investigation is still ongoing. So right now at this time, it is still early to say the exact cause of the fire. But our preliminary inquiry does state that it probably started in a gas line area. But like I say, it's still early to determine. So further investigations will have to be done.
Elliott, the owner of the rental company, made his way to the scene, and although he did not speak to the media on camera, he told ZNS News his priority at the time was ensuring the family was unharmed. In the meantime, McKinney, who gave kudos to the fire department for its quick response, says it could have been worse had the flames spread to the central bank and other nearby buildings. He adds that companies should also be mindful that vehicles are serviced properly before renting them out. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
So, Cleo, well, the apprenticeship bill passing in the lower chamber last night now becoming the Apprenticeship Act 2024. Killarney Member of Parliament, the Most Honourable Dr. Hubert Minnis, referencing the IDB Group Strategy 2024 through 2028 report that spoke to the challenges faced within the education sector. Dr. Minnis cited that many who came out of the public education system are failing with minimal standards of competencies expected, including English and math.
The education system does not equip the students with 21st century skill. It went on, academic shortcomings start showing up in primary school and are not effectively tackled early on, which has a cumulative effect through time, end quote. The crime problem we face is directly related to our inability as a people to properly ensure that there are robust systems in place to transition young people, and especially boys, successfully into adulthood.
Firing back with a response was Angliston Member of Parliament and Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin.
What is interesting, though, about the IDB report, while it is published recently in 2024, it covers the period in which the member for Killarney was Prime Minister of this nation and oversaw the educational system. All of those observations were under the watch of the then Prime Minister. All of them. All of them. And so to come here now, and he wants to see the revolution, the difference between us and them is that we face the truth about what's happening in the educational system in this country. And that's your revolution right there.
Focal Holdings shareholders have one more day to take advantage of this rare rights offering, which was initially set to close on March 22nd, but was extended after it was found that some shares were still unsubscribed. Response to the offering has been impressive, according to Focal President and CEO Dexter Adderley. He's now encouraging shareholders to take advantage of this opportunity.
The good news is we have extended, our directors have approved an extension of the deadline to Friday, tomorrow, April 5th. And so that gives all of our shareholders, an equal opportunity to really take up their rights in this historic offering.
Shareholders can take advantage of acquiring the remaining unsubscribed shares at the offering price of $5 per share. Requests and funds can be forwarded to cfile@focal@cfile.com before the close of business tomorrow. This is Focal's first public offering since its initial offering back in 1999. And Adderley says it demonstrates the company's dedication to growth and providing value to shareholders.
This is such a great event for us, and we're very proud of it simply because our organization is growing in all aspects. On the retail side, we're modernizing our retail network. You would have seen last year we introduced the Focal Smart Pass, where customers can pay for their fuel at the pump from their phones. That's going incredibly well. We have thousands of customers using their app.
Officials of the popular beverage Hennessy collaborating with Carnival representatives across the region by launching a limited edition Hennessy bottle design. Local Hennessy distributor Commonwealth Brewery Limited also on that list by liaising with the Bahamas Carnival Band Owners Association for Revel, the ultimate carnival showcase and fete. Marcellus Hall tells us that it's expected to jumpstart the carnival season.
Bahamas Carnival season is here, and Hennessy and its local distributor, Commonwealth Brewery Limited, have announced an exciting initiative for the Bahamas and other Caribbean carnival destinations. Here's Patrice Johnson, Hennessy brand manager, to tell us all about it.
Hennessy is celebrating Carnival throughout the Caribbean, and in doing so, they have produced a limited edition bottle that speaks to the spirit of Carnival, that speaks to the vibrance, that speaks to the celebration, that speaks to the overall theme that we know and love as Carnival. So we are the third country to launch this limited edition bottle and to put forth our efforts for Carnival. So we're super excited for what this season has for us.
The Bahamas Carnival season is ramping up now. How is Hennessy getting involved here at home with our Carnival?
Every Caribbean country celebrates Carnival differently. The intent, the expression, all of it is unique. And so the bottle is a culmination and an ode to all of those efforts put forth to this expression. And so you would see the vibrance, you would see the colors, you would see the excitement, and that is all to represent in this limited edition label.
In fact, that partnership has an exciting event coming up this Saturday at the cruise port, starting at 8 p.m. Maurice has those details.
On April 6th, Hennessy is hosting Rebel, which is the ultimate Carnival showcase and fete. And this event is going to showcase all 9 of our bands in all of their glitz and glamour and glory. So each of the bands will take the stage and they will show their costumes and their themes for 2024. And they will also have stations where you can go and learn more information about what they have leading up to the Road March, as well as packages or any other information they would have to offer to you. So in addition to the showcase, we have a host of great DJs that are well known in our community. So we have DJ Cosmo, DJ Gorgon, Melody, Fresh, Spuddy. We also have DJ Willie Chin coming in. And all of these DJs are going to set the tone for our performances. Our local artists, we have Wendy and Benji, who are also well known in our community, and they also play in that soca space. And then we are going to end the night by performances by Lyrical and Problem Child, who just take the soca season by storm.
But that's not all. There's even more excitement at Revel.
There are various ways that you can gain access to this event. If you stop into our 700 Wines and Spirits stores and purchase one of our Carnival limited edition bottles, you will receive a complimentary ticket to the event. You can also contact any of your favorite bands to purchase tickets from them, or you can purchase tickets at the gate.
So how can we be a part of this grand event?
As part of our sponsorship with the Bahamas Carnival Association, it's going to be very difficult to miss Hennessy along the parade route. We will have a custom mobile beverage truck with our sponsor group, and then we'll also have pop-up bars along the route as well.
And finally, what are Hennessy's plans for the culminating Long Bahamian Carnival weekend and Road March event, May 17th through the 20th?
As Hennessy supports Carnival throughout the Caribbean, we have partnered with the Bahamas Carnival Association for the events that they have leading up to the Road March. And we're very excited for the story that we're curating for all of our revelers in this 2024 season.
Hennessy and Carnival, it's definitely time to get ready.
And we still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for tonight, some of our local swimmers pleased with everything that happened at the Caribbean Championships. Details ahead in sports.
If you see news in the making, call ZNS News at 502-3800 or email us at znsnews@gmail.com.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Ali and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Ali dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
Tune into the 5th Annual Elevation Awards, Saturday, April 6th at 6 p.m. Live on the ZNS TV network from Sandals Royal Bahamian in beautiful Nassau, Bahamas, with live performances by Nishi LS, Julian Believe, Wendy 242, Sammy Starr, Patrice Morel, Shine Bahamas, Ilsha, Fan Sean, Judah the Lion, Carrington McKenzie, Alia Coley, Oslian Jadort, Sherwin Gardner, Colin Christopher, Davian Chase, and many more. Hosted by Sherelle Roxy Star Duncombe. That That's the 5th Annual Elevation Awards, April 6th, live on the ZNS TV network from Sandals Royal Bahamian.
Join me, Sherelle, Roxy Star Duncombe, as I host this year's Elevation Awards. Because I support the culture, and you should too.
Catch the 5th Annual Elevation Awards, Saturday, April 6th at 6 p.m., only on ZNS TV 13.
Exuma, get ready. They're coming from around the country to determine who will be the top 6. The backdrop, the most beautiful waters with the most beautiful young ladies in the country. Get ready for the preliminaries of the Miss Teen Bahamas International. This Saturday, April 6th at 7 p.m., Sandals Emerald Bay Resort Ballroom. Admission $20 at the door. The competition is about to intensify. The Miss Teen Bahamas International is brought to you by Platinum sponsor February Point, Star Apple, Superclubs Breezes, Kermit's Airport and Lounge, Western Air, Peace and Planet Resorts, Four Seas Adventure, Lorraine's Cafe, Wendy's, Zaymar Group of Companies, Titan Hospitality Group of Companies, the Farmhouse Bistro, the Ministry of Tourism, Exuma Travel and Transportation Limited, Grand Isle Resorts, Great Exuma, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, Exuma District Council.
Shawnee Miller-Weebo tying up, but it doesn't matter. It's gold for the Olympic champions.
On May 4th and 5th, the sun will shine down on the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium.
Coming through the field.
Hundreds of the world's best track athletes from more than 40 countries will compete to qualify for their spot at the Paris Olympics.
This is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready, simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars in Oakesville, Carmichael, East Street South, and the Charles Sanders Highway. See Little Caesars BS on Facebook and Little Caesars Bahamas on Instagram for more info.
Pizza.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Jet ski and watercraft operators on Goodman's Bay Beach are in agreement with the government to crack down on the safety of its operations that could very well result in the industry having to sign up to and abide by a code of conduct policy. We caught up with a nearly 40-year veteran operator for feedback.
If you're not licensed to be here, you shouldn't be trying to rent a jet ski to a tourist or a Bahamian.
That's nearly 40-year veteran water sport and jet ski operator Pedro Bannister addressing bold unlicensed jet ski operators that continue to place a dirty stain on business and the industry. Bannister says he endorses the strong push by hotel industry executives for the revamping of water sports industry regulations and discussions on ways to implement a new code of discipline for operators.
When we do have problems, it's from unlicensed people. And then you have some people who just come in the area when they see what's happening here and just interact with the tourists and interact with our jet ski business. But the police has been doing a marvelous job. Anytime we call them, because the situation would happen over Paradise Island, we don't want it to get to that level. So what we do, we keep the police informed of any newcomers or any people trying to interfere or sell drugs or whatever the case may be if he is not licensed to be out here. It's a public beach. You could come and go and swim in God water anytime, but just don't interact with any solicitation if you're not licensed. In order to get a jet ski license, you have to have Bahamas host certificate. You have to go through some swimming courses at the Defense Force Base in order to get a D license. Now, in order to license your jet ski, you know the stipulations. We just got to go through a milestone.
According to Bannister, some 4,000 visitors were enjoying the sun, sand, and riding along the sparkling turquoise shallow waters on Goodman's Bay this Thursday. And while no lifeguards were on duty, police were out in full force to ensure their safety. Bannister believes this spells good news for their bottom lines.
The beach is almost overcrowded with people. And once your jet ski is regulated and licensed, you should be able to make money once your jet ski running. You ain't gonna go overboard, but you can get what you're supposed to get. Because once the rotation running properly, every man get a piece of the pie.
With just under 20 licensed jet ski operators patrolling Goodman's Bay Beach, Bannister says he stands firm with hotel, the port, and transport officials in doing whatever is necessary to keep the industry booming, money in their pockets, and their views from visitors positive. Repairs to a stretch of corridor along Eastern Road between Fox Hill and Johnson Roads got underway late last month after several delays. You may recall those same announced roadworks had drivers up in arms after they were initially scheduled to take place at the height of the morning rush hour. The Ministry of Works, in response to the public's concerns, adjusted the times the works would take place, but not before having to again reschedule a start date. The works are ongoing, the road is being paved, and motorists can feel the difference. However, Works Minister, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, says there will be more delays because BPL and Water and Sewerage have works to carry out along that stretch as well. He says they'll work together to ensure the motoring public's inconvenience is minimal.
We are working along with both companies to ensure that the work that they do will come back and pave afterwards, so that all things will be done in unison. So as you'll see that we're paving the sections, so as Water and Sewage or BPL completes the work that they need to do, then we pave. So we'll continue, and hopefully in a few weeks we'll have it completed.
Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville yesterday sought to straighten out what appears to be some misunderstanding regarding mask mandates at health facilities. There have been some complaints that members of the public were being denied access to these facilities because they did not have the proper masks, and also reports that there have been a shortage of masks on hand. Dr. Darville reminds the public that masks are required at all health facilities, and mask mandates are in place to protect the public and the staff at these healthcare facilities.
As far as I know, we have masks at the clinics. I will have to substantiate that, but you know we have a mask mandate at all healthcare facilities, both private and public. The reason why that's important is because we noticed that there was an uptake of respiratory illnesses, and we want to make sure that our clinics and our hospitals are protected, both for patients and staff.
Jurors in the trial involving former Water and Sewerage Executive Chairman Adrian Gibson and his co-accused got an early date Thursday. They were dismissed shortly before 11 o'clock today by presiding Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson to allow legal discussions to take place in their absence. When the trial resumes, the defense is expected to continue cross-examining retired Police Superintendent Bradley Pratt, who led a team of officers to Long Island in May of 2022 as a follow-up to an investigation of fraud at the Water and Sewerage Corporation. Other defendants in the case include former Water and Sewerage General Manager Elwood Donaldson, Joan Knowles, Jerome Mizik, and Peaches Farquharson. Stay close, we've got more news right after this. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
Are you a business with 3 or more vehicles looking for the perfect fueling solution? Well, look no further.
I can go to any Ruber service station and get fast and easy service without any form of payment.
I can top up my fuel account and generate reports
anytime online.
We at Wildflowers enjoy significant savings from fraud reduction. The Rubis system provides optimum security and peace of mind.
Email bahamassales@rubis-bahamas.com to sign up now.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
Good to go. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow.
Dozens of students and teachers gathered in the foyer of the Ministry of Education yesterday to showcase their many talents at the Agricultural Science Exhibition.
Every year, the Agricultural Science Unit, the Department of Education, have an exhibition to showcase what it is that schools are doing in their agricultural science programs. So here we have a variety of plants, seedlings, fruits and vegetables, as well as eggs and meat products, so that persons can see that schools are really doing agriculture and they're doing it well.
That's Senior Education Officer Patrice Green, who adds that the goal is to make agricultural careers more appealing to kids.
So we're just showing them the whole process of from growing to the sale of items, so that they can see that you can really make an income out of agricultural science, and you can also be an entrepreneur at the end of the day.
We heard from schools like C.H. Reeves Junior High School, who has an impressive crop program.
We do greens mainly, bok choy, cabbage, onions, tomatoes, cabbage, carrots sometimes. It's a small program, mini farm. We lock soils, we use container farming mostly, put in tires and soil and grow our crops.
T.A. Thompson also participated under a reduce, reuse, recycle theme.
The whole purpose of it is to show you that you don't have to go extravagant, you don't have to use expensive products in order to grow stuff for you to eat. Because if you look here, you see we have a watering bottle. It has the holes in the top so that you can easily water your plants like a watering can. You don't have to go and buy an expensive watering can from the store. Also, we have the same bottle cut in half that you can use as a flower pot. All you do is just poke holes in the bottom, and then you can use it. You don't have to go and buy an expensive flower pots. Also, we have cups that we use, and when they get this tall, you can just knock around it, take it out, and transplant it.
And H.O. Nash Junior High School with its livestock farming program.
Basically, it's just like selling eggs, so just showing about the chickens, how our school takes care of the animals. After we collect the eggs out of the pen, we usually wash them, and then we let them sit out and dry. And after that, we just, if they're still wet, we wipe them down, and then we pack them up and sell them.
We also caught up with this H.O. Nash student who has dreams of one day becoming a farmer.
My experience with agriculture, when I first come there in grade 7, I don't like it a lot. So I put my talent and stuff in it, and I put my time into it, and I really like it. It's a good program to be in. I hope that we will try to go in it too.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Tonight, we turn our focus to Exuma, a beautiful island facing significant challenges with its infrastructure. Devontae Hanna is on the ground and filed this report.
Exuma, known for its picturesque landscape and pristine waters, has over the years become a major tourism hub with hundreds of visitors flocking to its shores year after year. However, the lack of modern infrastructure continues to be an issue hampering the island's economy.
Exuma needs, just like any other island, quite a few things that we need on this island. Currently, there are some things happening on the island which are positive.
Though not a major impact to its tourism product, the need for infrastructure also affects the daily lives of Exumians.
There is a need for a new primary school in Exuma, particularly the Georgetown Primary School, because of its present location. It causes a lot of traffic congestions, especially early in the mornings and in the afternoons. And I think, quite frankly, we have outgrown that present facility.
In 2022, Education Minister, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, revealed a new school would be built on the island. The Deputy Prime Minister and island representative, the Honorable Chester Cooper, has also committed to the redevelopment of the Exuma Airport. Necessary moves that can improve the quality of life for those in the central Bahamas island.
Infrastructure and roadworks, and especially the terminal, we really need it for Exuma. It's a tourist hub.
With the major works on top, residents remain optimistic about the road ahead as they feel the economy is gradually ballooning to one of the strongest in the country.
We have a lot of persons now who are getting involved in business, especially restaurants and nightclubs. The island and the people is benefiting from the economic boost for the island.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Thanks a lot, Devontae. Police in Exuma are investigating the death of an American tourist. Sources say the woman, aged 64, reportedly fell ill, collapsed and died on a watercraft. The incident reportedly occurring in Staniel Key, some 2 hours away from Georgetown. This is a developing story that we will continue to follow. Prepare for the worst and pray for the best. Perhaps the best advice heading into this year's Atlantic hurricane season, which based on the Colorado State University's projections will be extremely active. The forecast calls for as many as 23 named storms, 11 of which will become hurricanes. Of that number, 5 are expected to become major hurricanes of Category 3 or above. As for the names that have made this year's list, keep in mind Alberto, Beryl, Chris, Debbie, Ernesto, Francine, Gordon, Helen, Isaac, Joyce, Kirk, Leslie, Milton, Nadine, Oscar, Patty, Raphael, Sarah, Tony, Valerie, and William. We're now joined by Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. And Basil, you're the man with the plan. What are the projections, for an above-average season?
Well, thank you, LaDawn. What contributes to the high numbers that has been predicted by the scientists out there in the field? Well, we have some warm sea surface temperatures both in the Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea. That, coupled with the fact that they're also forecasting that by late summer and early fall, we could have a La Nina in place. And La Nina generally favors the development of tropical cyclone. So more than likely, we will see a proliferation of tropical cyclone development in the back half of the season with a slow start. But nevertheless, I always remind my viewers, do not worry about the numbers. Worry about that one storm that is coming your way that could be destructive to your community. So prepare accordingly. But right now, outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies, temperatures 73 degrees, the relative humidity at 83%. The winds are out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 1,012.3 millibars. That is 29.89 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, 71 degrees in Marshall, Babaco, Green Tool, Key at 72, Freeport, Grand Bahama, 72 as well, 73 in the Berry Islands, Alistown, Bimini, 74 degrees, Harbor Island, 74, Roxanne, Eleuthera at 77, Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 80 degrees there, 81 in Kemp Space, Andros, and Black Point, Exuma, Artistan, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 77, Georgetown, Exuma, 78 degrees, 80s in Rygat Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, and Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Megawana, 81 degrees, Acklands, 81, Matutani, Nago, 82, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight in the northwestern islands, the winds northerly behind that front, 10 to 15 knots through the wave heights, just around 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Now, your low tide, that will take place at 11:07 tonight in the central and southeastern islands tonight. Southwesterly winds, 10 to 15 knots in the wave heights, 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Now, as we take you into Friday through Saturday, for all areas of the Bahamas, the winds, they're going to be northwest, 10 to 15 knots with the wave heights, 2 to 4 feet. Now, your low tide starting tomorrow will take place at 11:53 in the morning with a high tide at 5:56 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Everything will be all right.
That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, the extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
Spring into your favorite super value or quality supermarket's location for great savings like Muller's Ready Cut Macaroni, 16 ounce, $2.19. Healthy Choice Soups, assorted, 15 ounce, $2.39. Ginger Evans Flour, 5 pounds, $3.99. Sweet Mangoes, $1.99 each. Baby back ribs, $3.69 per pound. Save every day at super value and quality supermarkets.
The most important thing in life is family, and whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Here at Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. Every aisle is filled with all you need. A great value with variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products. Saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you.
Watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Celebrations and accolades continuing to pour in for our six-time defending champion Carifta swim team. Yesterday, the squad hosted to a reception at the Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Bolag, was in attendance for the event, once again congratulating the team for their performance and reminding them to cherish the moment. A number of the swimmers reflecting back on their amazing accomplishment.
Winning the 5 years straight,
We just knew that we had to finish off strong. Everybody was tired. A lot of hard work was put into each and every session, but everybody knew what they had to do. Sadly, this is my last year being one of the captains and the seniors of the team, but knowing my team and knowing the Bahamas, we have a bunch of hard workers and everybody knows what they got to do in order to win.
This weekend was actually amazing for me. I PR'd in every single race, and I just loved the renovations of the new pool. It felt like really good to be at home, and it was nice and clean. It was renovated. It was just like really nice to be at the pool.
So obviously 6 in a row. The question is, the big question is, can you guys go for 7?
We can go for 10. I hope I'm there for 10. I just can't wait.
Also in attendance was the general manager of the NSA, Moses Johnson. He spoke about getting the pool ready to host the visiting nations.
Satisfied, we're on schedule as it relates to those repairs, but we want to bask in the glory of what has been done over this past weekend. We're so proud of the swimmers, the Federation, the LOC, especially the NSA and the SJK Construction, the Ministry of Works. Everybody came together, bonded together to get the facilities ready, and we're so happy with the results. I think it was a festive weekend, and I think it went without hitch. We had a few side points, but most of all, we had achievement stories, and that's what it's all about.
Meanwhile, our Carifta track and field team has now made their way back home from Grenada following 3 days of intense competition at the Karani James Stadium. The squad returning home to shores with 35 medals, 9 gold, 13 silver, 13 bronze. Now, of that 35 medals, 23 of those were from field events. B3A's President Jamiko Archer recognizing that accomplishment during an interview at the closing ceremonies.
At the end of the day, we would have gotten 35 medals, and of the 35 medals, 10 of them were gold medals, all attributed to the work that took place on the field. And so I give my hats off to the throwers, coaches, Corrington, Maycock, and Laquel Harris, together with the jump coaches, James Roll. He promised that he would deliver, and he certainly delivered, together with Jameson Pratt. So I'm just ecstatic for the fields team, who's done a tremendous job.
Archer adding that it's important for the Bahamas to keep working because other countries in the region are definitely getting better.
There's a lot to be said about the region closing the gap to Jamaica and the Bahamas. Guyana was simply amazing, and Trinidad was not far behind. And so they really showed up and showed well in the sprints, particularly Cayman Islands, who would have almost broken Johan Blake's record in the 100 meters. I think that was world-class performance out here today. And Michelle Smith from the U.S. Virgin Islands. When you look at the quality of competition, I think it's second to none.
New Providence Basketball Association into their semifinals now. Division I play last night. Discount distributor Rockets with an easy win over the Sand Dollar High Flyers, 105-56. Rockets lead that series now 1-0. In Division II play, Produce Express Rockets, they took game 1 of their series over Cybertech Blue Marlins, 68-65. And that's your look at sports for you here tonight. Our Thursday weather forecast is just around the corner. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have that front boundary pushing through the northwest Bahamas, making its way into the central parts of the country, and it went through with very little shower activity associated with it, but certainly behind it, we will have some cooler and drier conditions for the next several days. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild conditions, 67 degrees for your low temperature. Tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny with less humid condition, a little bit of breeze picking up later in the afternoon with your high temperature getting up to 80 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, lovely weather will be in place for the next several days, taking us right through the weekend into the early part of the week, of the new week. That is Monday, 77 degrees there. And then we start to get into some 80s on Tuesday. As we head in the middle part of the week, we'll see some more clouds work its way back into the forecast on Wednesday, courtesy of yet another frontal system pushing through the area. But that will quickly change to partly sunny conditions as we head into Thursday. Now, look at those temperatures during the nighttime. In particularly, we'll have some nice, comfortable temperatures right into about Wednesday up next week. LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Basil. And finally tonight, meet a young man who is taking his love of timepieces and turning it into a business venture with plans on the horizon to introduce his own line of Bahamian-inspired watches. Here's Corvell Pyfrom.
24-year-old Justin Sweeting's journey to becoming a horologist started when he was a teenager.
The only way for me to know if a watch is good or not is to find out how watches work.
After losing a watch given to him by his dad and feeling just awful about it, Justin decided he would begin making his own watches.
I joined like over 100 forums, right? I started going to boutiques and looking at watches, viewing them. I started watching movies about watches and documentaries about watchmaking.
Since then, he has taken watch pieces and rebuilt them. But he didn't stop there either. And then through a chance encounter, Justin was selected to be a part of the Rolex watchmaking training course. This is not an easy program to get into.
That year, they only accepted 2 students in the Caribbean. Okay, and I was the only independent student, meaning I wasn't backed by a retailer that the program ever had. So there were 7 students worldwide.
Now Justin is operating his own business, Tic Tac Watch Repair. And soon he expects to unveil his own line of Bahamian-themed pieces.
Now, the watches that I'd like to make, I'd like to say maybe they're assembled in the Bahamas, right? The movements would be Swiss movement. The movements, like I said, is the guts of the watch, right? The cases likely from Germany, but they'll be assembled there, and the dial or the face of the watch, the things that the hands float over, that'll be produced locally.
Justin hopes to roll out this line by early next year. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Great story there, Corvell. Well, that does it for the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great and safe evening, everyone.